Welcome to today's devotional. Scripture reading, Acts 27:44. The rest were to get to shore on planks or pieces of the ship, and so it was that everyone reached land safely. Hey, have you ever thought about what it's like to walk through life with God, especially when the storms hit? The story of Paul's wild voyage to Rome is like a snapshot of our own faith journey, full of highs and lows, moments of fear, and unexpected rescues. It's not always glamorous, but it's real, and it shows how God shows up in the messiest parts of our lives. Sometimes we picture faith as this smooth, flower-strewn path where God swoops in like a superhero, pulling us out of trouble with a dramatic flourish. But if you look at Paul's life, or even your own, doesn't it feel more like a roller coaster? One minute you're standing firm, the next you're dodging storms, clinging to whatever's keeping you afloat. Paul's story reminds us that God doesn't always airlift us out of hardship. Instead, he's right there in the ordinary, the gritty, the I'm barely holding on moments. Think about Paul for a second. This guy faced it all. Persecuted for preaching, hunted by enemies, locked in dungeons, shipwrecked on stormy seas. Yet through every trial, he wasn't crushed. Why? Because God was with him, not always in flashy ways, but in the small, practical stuff. Like when Paul escaped Damascus, not on some heavenly chariot, but in a creaky old basket lowered through a window, Acts 9:25. Picture the great apostle bundled up like laundry sneaking out of the city. It's almost funny, right? But that's how God works sometimes, through the humble, everyday stuff. Maybe you've had moments like that, times when you needed a rescue, and instead of a grand miracle, God sent a friend to listen, a random opportunity, or just enough strength to keep going. I've been there, feeling stuck in my own stormy sea, wondering where God is. Maybe you're there now, holding on to a piece of the ship, a job, a relationship, a shred of hope, wondering if you'll make it to shore. Here is the beautiful thing. Paul's story and the stories of so many faithful people in the Bible show us that God's promises hold true even in the ordinary. He doesn't always calm the storm or pull us out of it. Sometimes he gives us a plank to cling to, a friend to swim alongside, or the courage to keep paddling. And somehow, in his perfect way, he gets us to shore. So, what's your plank right now? What's the ordinary thing God's using to carry you through? Maybe it's a conversation that lifted your spirits, a verse that hit home, or just the stubborn hope that keeps you moving forward. Take a moment to notice it. God's weaving his love into the everyday twists and turns of your life, and he's not going to let you go. Let's reflect together. Can you think of a time when God showed up in a small, unexpected way during a tough season? What's one plank you're holding onto right now that's helping you trust God's provision?